What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr. I wanted to give you guys a little flavor of this game, Gamer Career Tycoon. It's actually pretty funny. I streamed this for a day. Streaming a game about streaming, kind of awkward, but anyways, let's get to it here. So, I've got games already played. You could see here, so we'll go ahead and load those up. No, that's not in-game music. Reload screen music because it takes a while. So this is actually a game that's been out for a little bit. Pretty much what's going on is you start off in your own little room here, and you can eventually upgrade this to be on your own boat. It's pretty funny. It's got a couple mechanics we'll go into here. So first of all, you're setting up as being like a YouTuber slash streamer, and it's kind of a simulation. So 60 is going to be your max HP points, and for you guys that are playing this game, it's a fun distraction, I'd say, for about a day. And then after that, you've pretty much seen everything. 60 is going to be the max points. What I would suggest is, if you want to play this proper, put some points into intelligence, because the more points you have into intelligence, the more attribute points for each level you get. All the way up to 20 here. And then get some charisma so that you can have some sponsorship appeal, and you'll get more followers quicker and all that. Endurance, all this stuff is just basically performance and how long you can perform. Research is probably not the... Research and luck are probably the two things you don't want to get too far into, and then they all have an effect on this knowledge base down at the bottom. Now, what you can do with your gaming career, which is kind of crazy. You can buy certain... Like I'm out of energy. You can buy certain amounts of... or certain games and certain little streamers set up, which I'll show you after the day cycles. And yeah, you gotta pay your bills every week. And it'll give you little updates on how your videos are doing. Okay, well, I guess we have to do this. So this is the esports part of the game. Now, I recommend doing the esports if you want like a little spicier flavor of the game. But do keep in mind, early game, it is actually going to be a little bit harder for you to develop a money-making career. It'll probably add a good week to 2 weeks plus, on being able to pay your bills strictly from gaming, because there is a little job you can work in this. Now, the esports, it's different depending on what you do. I did what's basically a Hearthstone method, but they have MOBA, they have shooter games, sports games, MMO, that type of thing, fighting games. Now, this is one of the things I would actually criticize the game on, because this stuff, it doesn't really have like a, okay, this is what this is going to get me, this is what that's going to get me. So what I usually do, once I got to the appropriate skill level, I just pump everything to 100 and then go to 87% for offensive and risky, because if you go full, for whatever reason, you'll just end up taking like a bunch of damage. And so it's kind of simulating here. Let me take it down. It's kind of simulating a Hearthstone game here. So... And then later on, they'll actually offer you, like, contracts and stuff. Like, this is my team leader here. Qualified for the next round. We can win this. Just relax and refuel before the finals tomorrow. So you get how that goes. And... I get an ad. Alright. So, what ends up happening is, you can go over to your profile here. Your gear is set up, so eventually you can actually upgrade this whole rig. You're going to start out with things that are called like noob. And then eventually the pro stuff will unlock, and it all costs a certain amount of money. And then the lead style, it's the same for pretty much most of this stuff here. You can kind of give yourself different photos here, but I think it doesn't really affect anything. It's just personal preference. And then they got a little barbell here, which you can up your endurance with. You can also watch TV once you unlock it to bring your morale back up if you have like a really toxic chat or like a particularly bad esports game or whatever. It's actually pretty funny. Now, research when you start off, definitely recommend getting the top 2 ASAP. Esports career is going to be your bottom tab. Once again, I say only do that if you want a little bit added challenge to the game, because what you really want to do is get self-sufficient, and these top 2 are going to help you with that. But once you research, it's just going to take a certain amount of energy. And then what you're going to go ahead and do with the rest of your energy is up to you. And then pretty much show you the shop here. So like I said, there's a bunch of different games you can buy. This will tell you what the popular games are, which are generally the ones that are more expensive, but then you can get stuff on sale over here that might be popular in the future as they release expansions and that type of thing. There's little things you could do to clean up your apartment, which honestly doesn't seem to affect anything. And then, like I said, you can get on a yacht boat eventually. Now, we're gonna go look at some other here for you. So this is your channel. Your channel, it's basically, you know, your uploaded VODs that you have, whoever your sponsor is. You know, supposedly have 99.9 million followers. At first, when you start, it's definitely much lower. But, this is your revenue per week. That's going to be really important. And then this is going to be the top 10, usually, people. I've broken into 7th here. And then you got your dashboard, so you can play around with your little logo and art. I think that's highly cosmetic, though, for the most part. And then show webcam. For some reason, that seems to be bugged. It always unchecks itself. These are, like, different things you can upgrade eventually, but you start off with, like, low community votes. So you can do a community vote thing here, and they'll tell you, hey, what game do you want us to play? They say fighter strategy. So then what you can do after that, you just load up whatever you want to stream. There's little skill rates that you get the more you unlock different styles here, so depending on what you're playing. So they want fighter strategy, so honestly, probably keypad's gonna be better with that. I got my stupid cosplay bear costume. And, so what was it, fighter strategy? So you choose whatever game you want to do, you can choose. Eventually you can unlock what type of video / live stream you want to do. In this case, we'll just do casual. And then it has like all the stats and stuff that are happening. Now this is like a reaction thing, so that the better you do on it, try to do the green if you can. You just got to know what your stats are offhand, the stat meter I showed you earlier. But in my case, I'm pretty much maxed at everything after playing for a couple hours, so I can pretty much click it whenever I want. And then once your hype meter gets to 100, you'll be getting like donations, subscribers get you a certain amount of money. And then this is actually pretty funny, because you look at this. You know, not even Ninja can do 180 million views. Freaking. So the numbers do eventually get out of hand. It is one of those games where you struggle at first, but eventually you just steamroll and snowball, and you're pretty much unstoppable no matter what you do. Now, as far as the development of this game goes, the dev did promise he was going to clarify a couple of the bugs that I've already mentioned, but he seems to have gone dark because he's already doing a couple other projects, so I'm sure this one's over on his back burner right now, and may never get another update again. But like I said, this game's still worth a look if you really just want to do a management simulator and have some fun for probably about 5 hours or so. So, if you can get it, you can. I think this game was on sale for like $1 on one of the, not Steam, but I forget what it was. It was some offer or something like that. But pretty much, you can get the demo and probably experience the same basic thing. And yeah, supposedly I already have the 116,000 views just from uploading the video. So you can see it gets a little crazy, but anyhow, so that's my quick review of this game. Now, one thing to note as well, I'll show you guys the job real quick just because it's funny. As if you really need to make your bills. Oh, I'm out of energy, oops. And then, of course, the div had to throw in taking a shower and rubbing your butt with a towel, because why not? Anyhow, so I am actually... I've gotten a deal now with Uvit to get access to some of the indie games that they promote. So this means that there's going to be a lot more betas and a lot more things on my channel, so games that are coming down the pipeline. You know, you guys can check them out whether you're on your work day or you got some spare time. I'll try to make the videos as quick as possible unless the game's like really interesting, then I'll probably do a couple playthrough videos. In general, when I was streaming this game, unfortunately, it didn't get too much of a, you know, like, oh my god, that game looks amazing, blah, 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 blah. But I'm making the video out of courtesy, as well as, I have to make videos every 3 downloads that I get, so downloads of, like, betas or what have you. So this is going to be my video for this, and this is actually going to open me up. There's a game coming out that I really want to play that's in beta. I'm going to download literally as soon as I get the approval. What was it called? Let me look it up. It's like School something. You guys, I could show you guys a bit real. Academia School Simulator. And it's pretty much, any of you guys that have played either a RimWorld or Prison Architect, it's basically that style of game where you set up a certain pattern, but it's with schools. So, you know, there's like a gym, there's a boys' bathroom, girls' bathroom, cafeteria, all of that. Go ahead. And then as soon as I get this, I'm actually probably going to play it on stream for a bit. Let me go ahead, I'll make a window capture and I'll show you guys the preview for that. Here we go. And then this is done. Play it. As far as my review for this game, though, I'd say time waster. If you feel like wasting some time, it's like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 average game. Build the program. Okay. Alright, let's check this out. This is 2. Should be pretty fun management games. Management games are actually my vibe. Personally. Oh, it should be pretty interesting. It's in beta, so of course I'll forgive it, but assuming that it's okay, I'm gonna have to actually check with and see. This is a publicly released trailer, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but assuming it's okay, I'll try to get a review out on this within a week. See how it goes. So there you have it. So if you're interested in that game, check it out. It's on early access. That's it for me, guys. So have yourselves a great evening. See you later.